everyone. Welcome back to Ardent Roleplay Art Stream. If you're new to Ardent Roleplay is an augmented reality app for tabletop role-playing games. You can get the app from our app stores. What I'm working on today are the cards that go with the app, as you can see in the little demonstration down below, that are used. The cards are used with the app to move the models around. Yeah, I'll just change the cards from all cards to Cthulhu. So today we're working on a new suit of Cthulhu cards. I'll be working on a card that I started the last stream. Yeah, so I guess we'll go straight into it. If you have any questions about the cards or Ardent Roleplay, feel free to ask any questions. So this is what we were working on last stream, and just gonna so this is what we were working on last week. Pretty much decided to start off where I left off. So I have had a little play with lighting since last time. Oh, I should say, for anyone who didn't see last week's stream, this is a weapons card. And it will probably be called the knife card, but that's a working progress title. So I did have a play at doing some little sketching in the background here to try and figure out what else we're going to add to this image. So I did that since the last stream. And I also had a little bit of a play with the lighting as well, because this card is going to be quite tricky with the lighting. I suspect it's going to be a bit tricky with the coloring, because I want some nice light coming from the door, but I might need to add another light source yet, but that's a later problem because we're still doing the line work, but I do need to take it into account with shadows. Yeah, so I guess we'll get into it. So hopefully we'll be able to get to color today. I suspect we will. Alrighty, here we go. This is just a old rusty latch here for the door. Probably can make my brush a bit smaller in doing detail. I'm thinking of having this plank up the top here and maybe having some sort of markings on it. Maybe some sort of cultish kind of looking marks. Not entirely sure yet. It feels like having something here would be really cool. Either that or like some sort of weapon or bar or something up the top. And here will just be some rope. I got this horizontal plank in my sketch, but I'm not sure about it. I think I will actually just bring out down the vertical planks. Just because for some reason I think it kind of interferes with the knife a bit. I don't know, or either that or it's flattening the image somehow. I don't know. I'm not sure about it, so I think I'll just ignore that. don't like how that line goes into the hook, so I'm gonna have to redraw that. Make it a chunky board. I mean, I could. I think that line was meant to be like... I gotta get my perspective right here. So the corner... One was somewhere there. I think I was trying to make a beam, but maybe I shouldn't. Chunky board sounds like a good idea, I think. Oh, it's still kind of touching the line, the hook there. I don't think it's that bad though. I think that's fine. Collect sketch. Keep losing my layers. Alright, guess I'll start with this lock on this box here. I want a latch, so I think I need to make this sticking out a lot for a latch. The lid is, so I'll start drawing the latch and see what happens. Hi, Sean. Thank you. Hoping to get to colour today. I'm pretty sure we can. So I want to lock in on here, just to raise some questions as to what the person owning the shed would be hiding in this box right here. layers are a bit a mess at the moment. I'm usually more organised when it comes to colouring though. Alright. I think I'll add some detail on the top too. So that was all that's from my sketch, so I'll get rid of that there. Okay. So I've realised that the horror in the scene currently is a bit kind of generic, gruesome, gory horror. Since Cthulhu is more the unexplainable and occult kind of horror, so we want to add some kind of maybe something on the knife, runes or glyphs or something. Oh, thank you, Sean. It's really nice that Ardent Roleplay actually does do these cards instead of just QR codes or something like that. It does help the immersive nature of the app as well. I also didn't do the cross beam here that I had in my sketch as well, just because I thought we could like add some like little peeping hole or something, which could be cool. My first thought is like some eyes peeping through. It's a bit generic though. Also could do a tentacle. I've used that quite a bit in the first suit. Maybe I'll just leave that hole open for now and then add something later. But I do like the idea of something being there. Also, if anyone has suggestions on little creepy little details, let me know. I also thought maybe it would be fun just adding like a random finger on the side. Give that a go. It's a bit more classic horror, but see if it works. Finger knife? What, the knife is a finger or fish person finger? Yeah, maybe. I feel like I need to like draw more fingers if I do a fish finger, because like fish person finger, because then I need to show the webbing somehow. I have to just make it slammy finger. The knife is 4 fingers. Okay, that makes more sense. When you said finger, I'm like, should I make the handle like shaped like a finger? No. Alright. I don't know, I need to make it... I guess I could try and do like a creepy finger that could be interpreted for like a deep one fish person's finger. Maybe a flesh weapon should be on another card. I mean, like, something like that, like, could work. I don't think that nail is great though. Like a pointy thing. I want it not to be so obvious, so... I don't know, does that look like a finger enough? Or do I need to make it look a little bit more fingery? I think that could work. No, don't. Try drawing again, see if I can do anything. That's a huge nail. I like the idea of a pointy fingernail, but it does make it less look like a finger. I just want it to be kind of subtle, and you don't know if it's attached to someone or if it's detached. It's the unknown that makes Cthulhu creepy. Alright. God, my layers are a mess. And the border will cover that a bit anyway. What do you guys reckon? Do you like the finger? Does it work? It's so much better than my first one. Jeez. It's a little bit bulbous. Cool. Alrighty. There's another creepy element we got in there. I guess I should start on the knife, giving that some creepy details. Still just unsure of exactly what to do there. I don't think this line is really great. I'm gonna actually hide that for a second. Try and draw some runes or glyphs on here. Actually, I'll go draw them in light grey first. Doesn't feel occulty enough to me. I thought this was going to be more difficult than it sounds. Alright. Like a bigger make sort of markings that go around the handle maybe. that's getting quite detailed. Not completely sure about it. I think some of these details should be in color rather than in line to make it look more engraved, or to avoid the handle getting too busy and then kind of blending into the background. Yeah, this might be something that gets decided later. Color starts. Might leave it at that. Yeah, not too sure about that, but trying to think, because if we're gonna have runes on the knife, it might be too much having it there as well. I'm thinking of having maybe some sort of tool like a crowbar or something that is just like kind of up here on a rack or something. Do that. Okay. That sheet is I was going to go for a crowbar, but maybe there's some other weird tool I could do. I'm going to think on that and start doing some shadows. So in these cards, we do a lot of black spaces, particularly in the Cthulhu ones where we want to have a lot of contrast between light and dark, and we can't use colors that are too dark, otherwise it washes out the tracking points the AI uses. So we end up using a lot of really black shadows, solid black shadows, and then negative lines in that. There's also some tricks with the different kind of color that we can get around as well, like using blue and purple for dark areas, since we can't go too dark. Because I'm a little bit undecided about the how I'm going to go about lighting in this one, because I feel like there needs to be a secondary light source, not just from behind the door. So I think I'm going to end up kind of deciding how much black to put in as I'm doing the color. Leave that up while I do this. I think I'll put like a really solid right here though. There is a secondary light source. I think it would be off to the side here rather than the other side, because that's pretty much just a corner of a room really. Yeah, this might get messy here. It's really tempting just to like kind of block this whole wall out in black almost. But I think I'm gonna have to decide that when I do the color. I think I need to hold off doing the rest of the black shadows. Just add the shadow for the hook, and then I think I'll just hold off the shadows until I actually do the colouring for this one. That just got really messy, that area, but we'll see how colour goes. This is kind of annoying down here. Bottom of this box isn't quite right perspective-wise, which is okay because we're not exactly going full-on proper perspective here. So it's kind of fun when it's a bit wonky, when it's Cthulhu cards, but it's just it wasn't the right kind of wonky. Very chill music. Is that a good or bad thing? Putting you to sleep? End of the week vibes. I can go for those vibes. Good. Oh, actually, there should be. Can just go for a dark shadow here easily. I'm trying to think of something creepy to go up in this beam up here. What if it was like some sort of decorated bone? Some sort of ritualistic looking thing or something. Originally I just wanted to have this as like a rural 1920s butcher, like a little shed where they keep their meat or something. But I want like little hints of something more going on. Alright, let's just start drawing and see what happens. Tricky. I'm now thinking of like a string of bones, some other odd things. Might be a bit too obscure though. It'd be like a spine bone, but it looks a bit weird. Try a few more things and see if this is gonna work out, but I'm not sure. I don't know if this is creepy enough. that's something. Okay. Well, I think I only need some little more details and then I might start with some colour. We can get some of the lighting down pat. Probably want some bolts. I want some wood texture, but I have to be a bit careful that I don't make things too busy. There's been a few cards in the past that have had wood textures that I've had to go on back after I finish the colouring to get rid of some of these lines for the wood grains, just because it can get very messy really quickly. So I wouldn't be surprised if I have to do that again here for this card. We'll see. We want some detail on the ground as well. It's looking quite busy, but I think that's a lot to do with this handle. And the wood grain's not helping either. Actually name this layer so I know what it is. Without that, do we reckon this cutting board in the front here should be stone or wood? Originally I wanted wood, but now I'm wondering if it's actually, it should be stone. I mean, there's a lot of wood everywhere else. Yeah, stone might be cooler. I mean, the chips kind of look almost stone anyway. I'll just put some little detail lines, but I won't make it look like wood. Bench though would be wood. Just looking at this, I think I'm going to run into the problem of it being too busy with all the wood textures, but it definitely needs some more solid black as well. But I think I will do that when we do the color. This side of the box is still not quite right to me. Just outlining the knife a little bit more. Quite heavy, but the best way of creating depth is to use really thick lines in the front and thinner lines in the back. I'm just emphasizing that a bit more. I also realized the cutting board is quite tiny, or the knife is really huge. But I don't think it matters all too much. I like having the handle and the cutting board in the picture just for extra detail, and that's probably why it's looking so small. Alrighty, what does chat think? What do you guys think? Think we should start with color? Very tempting. Yeah. I just noticed something that was annoying me. Whoa, accidentally closed. Save that. I picked this card because I thought it was going to be one of these more simple ones. It was a good one to pick for the first stream, but now I'm wondering if I was correct, because I think the colouring and the lighting is going to be a bit tricky. Anyway, just noticed it's almost 5 o'clock, so I'm wondering if I should have a break and then come back. Yeah. So I'm going to take a 10-minute break, and then I'll come back and get into color. So, see you soon.
Having something that you can kind of physically see and be like, this is what it is, this is what it looks like, is a very simple way to just keep story flowing.
It's another tool to communicate to the players what's happening.
Imaginations are endless.
Players who are new into the game, being able to describe, what a crypt or a dais or something is.
I believe we're in the presence of a trap.
With this, it's like, this pops right up on my screen and I can see all this stuff and I don't need to tell anyone about it.
That is amazing. That's so good.
Oh yeah, look at that. Dang.
To have that visualization right there. Pretty impressive. Yeah.
Having the visuals, it kind of brings it into a cool world.
This is the second time I played D&D. The first time I played, I actually filled in for a guy that couldn't make it to a session. I made his character completely chaotic evil. I could probably help you out of there, but you're gonna have to give me that coin pouch. And killed the entire party I was with, and yeah, I can't really play with those guys anymore. Because my perception is usually pretty high, I can see a lot of things that the other people can't see, which means that I can kind of take advantage of situations a lot easier than I would be able to in just a normal tabletop standard. Like, it'd be very hard to be like, hey guys, I know the Dungeon Master just said I've got all this stuff in the corner, but don't look at it because you characters can't see it.
I believe we're in the presence of a trap.
With this, it's like, this pops right up on my screen and I can see all this stuff and I don't need to tell anyone about it.
Oh, that's fantastic.
never played it, never played anything interactive. It was always on my bucket list. I've always seen it on movies, my friends play it, and I heard that it's like really immersive and that it can last for months.
Oh yeah, look at that.
I couldn't fathom how gameplay works like that. Like tailoring that some people could see certain things and then like other players couldn't. When they said it's all your imagination, I'm like, what? Like anything?
I'm gonna run up to one of them and like hook my bow over its head, draw it back, and like decapitate.
Imagination is endless, and I think having the visuals, it kind of brings it into a cool way.
Welcome back, everyone. Alright. So, we were thinking of going back into colour. So, before we go into colour, I'll go back to some points that I made last stream. So, for colour, there's a few things that I'll have to consider that will affect how I basically colour in the image and deal with light and dark, which I've already mentioned quite a few times. So the way that these cards work as AR markers is that they pick up little points in the image, which we basically create mostly using the line work. And because the line work is important, it means when we're colouring in the image, we have to make sure that the colours aren't too dark, otherwise it kind of, the contrast isn't there, and the Euphoria, which we use as for the AR element of our app, just won't pick up the points. So that's something that can be a challenge in colouring in these cards. So if I just go back, so you'll notice in a lot of these cards I've used a lot of solid black and then negative lines, especially in this one here where you got the stones. And in this one here particularly, I use blue and purple a lot, especially this one as well, just to create the illusion that it's dark, even though if you put these in grayscale they're not actually that dark, and the contrast is still really nice for using as Euphoria AR image targets. So yeah, so let's go back to the live drawing. So this is the color scheme I'm using, which basically when I have to come up with a color scheme for these cards, it can sometimes be a little bit of trial and error to make sure that they are dark enough to use to create the illusion of darkness, but not too dark to wash out the points, and then also not too light. So yeah, so this is our color scheme. Get started, I'm going to copy some of these lines. I'm going to get all of the layers of the tiny details in the wood on its, and bring that up the top. I'm going to flatten all of these lines into a new document, except I'm going to leave a few, such as this layer here, because I suspect that some of these might end up being better in a darker color than in black, just because it's very visually busy right now. So I'm going to leave that on its own layer. These as well. I haven't organized my layers very well. And the handle, where's that layer? Didn't need that layer. What happened to that layer? There it is. So the handle layer as well. So I'm going to copy all these other layers over. New doc I've got. Merge all those together. That's all one layer now. I'm gonna get these detailed layers. And then I'll put all of these in a folder called lights. Oh. And for now I'm gonna turn off the handle layer. It's kind of tempting also to turn off this layer. I might make this be semi-transparent. These layers. So now I can start with the color. There's a cool thing I like to do. Colors is I use masking layers a lot. So most of this image is, well, in the background is brown because it's going to be wood. So I just get the wood. Also get and I'm just going to double check this is the right color scheme real quick. Yeah, it should be. I've got a slightly different color scheme for the high fantasy. So what I do for color is I literally just get a whole layer, use the paint bucket tool and just color the whole layer. And that'll be our bottom layer, so it's just straight up gonna be brown. And then use this gray again. And I use masking layers, so what this does is creates a masking layer that you can basically use the eraser tool to erase bits. But then you can also bring in the brush tool and bring bits back. What this means is, if I want bits to be grey, I can just select everything, delete it all, and now I can come back and then paint in the knife. And now that it's got a masking layer here, so basically whatever's white is what's showing and everything black is erased. And now, because it's got the masking layer, I can pick whatever color I want and then just paint the whole thing and it can change that color. So it just means that if I want to change a color later on, I can just get the paint bucket tool and just do that because it's got the masking layer on and it doesn't affect the quality of... Because usually if I just painted an area like this and then just paint bucket that a different color, I'll just get a random color, you'll see that it gets these rough edges, whereas with the masking tool this is just a nicer way, and it just creates so much freedom with the colors. That's fun. Okay. I'm trying to think of what I want to do first. So I think we'll start with the background. So I like creating a group of folders for the background and then one for the foreground. So I'm gonna get this nice yellow here. And I'm gonna start doing the light that's coming through the door because that will help me determine what's the final decision on the lighting for this scene. I just realized that there is no hinges on this door. So I'm going to go into the lines folder and just draw those in. I think that's all what we want, solid light. I'm actually going to create another group here. Masking layers also work on groups, which is real nice. So I'm going to leave that and do that. This might not make sense why I'm doing this right now, but I'm creating a mask layer so I can do some light coming through the door. But make sure that none of the color is in these bits that I'm erasing now. It's tricky. Maybe I do want some light coming through. Basically want the door to be in silhouette. That's what would happen if there was a light source outside. Okay, now we can get a really big brush. Well, really low transparency and just kind of create some sort of glow. now's probably the time to make foreground. And make it grey for now, so I can see what's happening. So the foreground is just the table, cutting board and the knife. So we could probably just select all this. Oh, I've gone too far. Yikes. Alright, so that's the foreground. I'm going to go select inverse and then just delete. And now, because this is a masking layer on the group, any layer I have in this group can't go outside those boundaries that I set. So okay, I've already got some atmospheric lighting. But this currently is a hole in the wall, so that should also have some. So I'm not sure on the yellow yet either, but it gives me an indication of where the light is. Sometimes with these cards also I have to break some traditional ideas of where light would be, just purely because I can't make the image too dark. So theoretically there wouldn't be this much light hitting here. So I'll reduce that a little bit, but I also might keep some of it there just so that there's more contrast between the lines and the color. Going to make this wood not as a little bit paler. Basically when I'm coloring these cards, if I look at any opportunity to make the image lighter, I will do it. So I'll try and do whatever I can to create the illusion of light and dark where I can. So I'm thinking the knife handle will be wood on this foreground, just the table. The handle should be brown. I feel like that finger looks too normal now. Although if the handle's brown, it might blend into the background. We'll see. Lighting might fix that. So let's try and see if we can add some blue or purple to make room feel a bit darker. often my go-to for creating light and darkness is purple and yellow, but sometimes blue also works nice for darkness. And now if I want to, I'm thinking what it would look like if the light was actually a blue moonlight shine. So now, because I've done the masking layers, I can literally just go like this and see what that looks like, which is cool. And I'm not sure. We'll stick with yellow at the moment. I think we could make the yellow more white though. Perhaps. Don't want the moose to feel too happy. Yeah, I think I like as white as the solid bits are white. Okay, oh, that should be on the top there. Alright. Alright, the lighting in this is very tricky to determine, so I'm just going to start blocking in some of the different features. Go to the background and start doing that. Up the box. Actually, this will just be general metal bits. Just notice this line go through. Yeah, it shouldn't have. that's all the metal bits, I believe. This grey colour is a bit dark, so I'm going to lighten it a bit. Great shadows, I often use purple and then use multiply. Layer style. But I do have to be careful that doesn't create, because it adds on to the colour. It can make it quite dark, so you be careful. I guess we'll do the sax. Okay, now I'm gonna create an orange, but make it transparent. And use that for the roof. these little hanging down bits green for now, but I'm not sure if I'll keep them green or something like red or something. But we'll see. Have some color variation on the chest. The red. That should create like a rusty kind of color. See what that looks like. Orange instead. Nah. Create a new layer for all of the metal so we can maybe play with some rusting effects. Been a while since I did the last Cthulhu suit, so I can't remember if I tried different kinds of brushes for the coloring. I think I did, but I can't remember what. Let's give something like this a go. It's not looking very gloomy. Interesting. Blue. Gonna see what this looks like. They just completely block out area. I think that is pretty tempting just to block out, pretty much just block out that whole area and just do some like little details. Yeah, I think I like that. So just looked at that area. There's definitely more opportunities to use some solid black in here, I think. Still unsure if there should be like another light source off screen, like a candle or something, depending on the knife. Don't think I'm liking the blue light. I prefer yellow light. Just that I wanted to, if I did have another light source, I want it to be a warm light as well, because it would be like a candle or something. Maybe I do need to get rid of some of the yellow shine. Alright, go start blocking in some of the gore at the front. I want this score to be a bit sickly or something. Train. More silhouettes or dark solid black seem to work quite nicely there, or even just some figure lines. Illustration is proving quite tricky to figure out. I think I do need another light source, but I'm kind of not sure how to go about it yet. start doing some highlights and shadows. It's 6 o'clock, but I think I'll just do a little bit more. The image usually really comes to life when I do the shadows and highlights. So go to... So often I usually get the yellow and just basically draw highlights right next to the line, which you'll probably see in some of these. You'll see in the border actually. So in this border, I've done the yellow highlights right next to the lines, and then I've got some like light purple multiplied shadows. So I think I'll start doing some of those because that might give me more of an indication where I'm going with my lighting here. I usually create that. They're like the top layers. Well, top layers in the color section, line section. Actually creating a new folder called lighting. Select my purple and yellow again. Oop. I'll be doing these wherever the light might hit the objects, but I'm also being quite generous because it's just generally, this is a really nice way of making sure that there's contrast between the line and the color. So I do put these lines more than, like if I was just drawing an image that wasn't an AR target, I wouldn't usually be so liberal with the way, like with just how much I do this. that's already created a bit more of life into the image. Now bring some shadows in. Thank you, Aaron. create another highlight layer but make it much less intense as the other one. So you can make those planks look a bit more pretty. So I'm thinking I might get off at 6:30 at this point. To give it a few more little highlights. And we'll probably finish it next stream, I think. Okay, I'm just gonna play with the lighting in the foreground. Maybe an experiment. We do another light source. See what it looks like. So this would be coming off a candle that would be to the side of screen. If we do this, I'm not sure how this is going to go. My initial idea is if I had another light source like a candle like this might turn out to be, I would have had the light in the back be a cool light, like a blue light. But that didn't look right, so maybe could work. Right. Okay. Start doing some highlights in the foreground now and see how that goes with the orange glow. There could be an opportunity to do some cool reflection in the knife as well. It's cozy gore. Cozy warm gore. Do we think the warm glow is working? The foreground? It could be working. This whole section should be in shadow. Okay. Finish off by putting a little shadow. So I'm thinking and a little bit off to the side, so it would be a bit of a shadow. And that way maybe. Okay. Well, might leave it there for now. So we've still got some more details to go. I haven't even touched what we're going to do with the runes yet on the handle. I'm thinking definitely do most of that in color rather than with the lines. But overall it's looking pretty good so far. It's ended up being a lot more of a warmer color scheme than I expected. I thought we were gonna go way more cooler, but I don't mind how warm this is at the moment. Kind of fun. So yeah, I think I'll leave it there and pick it up next stream. So thank you everyone for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. And if you're keen to see how this ends up, tune in next time. Planning to stream on Monday, probably around the same time. Good night. See you then.
Having something that you can kind of physically see and be like, this is what it is, this is what it looks like, is a very simple way to just keep story flowing.
It's another tool to communicate to the players what's happening.
Imaginations are endless.
Players who are new into the game, being able to describe, what a crypt or a dais or something is.
I believe we're in the presence of a trap.
With this, it's like, oh, this pops right up on my screen and I can see all this stuff and I don't need to tell anyone about it.
That is amazing. That's so good.
Oh yeah, look at that. Dang.
To have that visualization right there. Pretty impressive. Yeah.
Having the visuals, it kind of brings it into a cool world.